And then what? Sometimes a new year brings hope and renewal. Sometimes it brings frustration, stress, or apathy. Either way, we are inundated with messages that in this new year, we should be new too. New year, new me. New gym memberships, new skincare routines, new us. What if, perhaps, along with all the shiny external goals, there are also internal muscles to tone? What if we started the new year, particularly this one, with a spiritual workout instead? Join us for Spiritual Fitness, a worship series to hone our understanding of Unitarian Universalism, covenant, healing, and care. Let's embark on this new year the only way we know how. Together.
Good morning. Welcome to this live stream at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. Happy New Year. So excited to be with you. This morning, we have a multi-generational service, which doesn't mean anything's different, except we have extra stories and the music is just even more for everybody. This first hymn is gathered here and it has motions with it. So can I have the key, Willie? So we have this first motion is just gathering everything together. We have gathered here, then mysterious reign in the mystery of the hour. Gather again, gathered here, hands together in one strong body. Gather again, gathered here, little disco, in the struggle and the power. Reach up, Spirit, draw near. We'll be doing this as a round with Reverend Strauss and Laura Beth Brown. You can choose to sing along with whoever you want to, or you can sing your own part. It's a great place to just kind of mess around. First time, we'll sing it all the way through together, then we'll do it as a round for a while. This is Gathered Here. All together.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in the struggles of the body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Gathered here, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the body. Gathered here in the struggles of the body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near.
Thank you for singing along at home. We hope you'll take part fully in the whole worship service this morning. We're so glad you're with us.
Good morning and Happy New Year. Yes, we are still in that time of powerful intention of the new year's turning. Want to welcome you to Sunday morning worship with the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. I'm Reverend Taryn Strauss. I'm delighted to be with you here this morning at UCA, where we are working to transform lives through courageous action and soulful connection. We are live streaming from our worship space for the time being and are just so glad to have you worshiping with us here. Wherever you are from, whomever you love, whatever your age and path you are on, you are welcome to worship with the UUCA.
Good morning. I'm Laura Beth Brown, Director of Lifespan Religious Education, and we have numerous ways that you can be involved with us this week. So, for today, social hour is suspended as the lay ministry team has cognitively based compassion training, so we look forward to seeing you next week. Weekly yoga is back, so start the new year right with the return of Zoom weekly yoga classes. Join us on Thursdays from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m., starting this Thursday, January 13th, and running through May 19th. Jean Woodall will kick off the year teaching in January, and Joy Niskern-Murphy will teach in February. So you can email Joy, her email is going into the chat, to get that link. Adult religious education resumes this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. with a session led by our own Dr. Andrea Barra entitled Melting Pot or Tossed Salad? Assimilation, Pluralism, and Separatism. We'll explore the various and changing meanings of what it means to be part of American society, as well as the pros and cons of the ways we have attempted to coexist as communities and as a nation. To register for this and all ARE sessions for the program year, follow the link going into the chat right now. Enter a new realm with us. UUCA has moved to a new database and organizational system called Realm. Mark your calendar to attend a Zoom training to get to know the new tools available to you, and watch your email over the next week for a link to sign up to set up your Realm account. Now, general trainings are available next Sunday, January 16th at 2:30 p.m., Thursday evening, January 19th at 7 p.m., and again on Sunday, January 23rd at 12:30 p.m. We are so excited to explore these new tools with all of you. Through the live chat, we can express love and care for each other. Please take a moment to say hello to each other and anyone else who may be visiting into this worship service this morning. Once again, we are so glad you have chosen to worship with us this morning.
Now it is time to get out your chalice you may have at home, or a candle, special candle, and light it along with us as we light our chalice here in the worship space, and say the chalice lighting words along with us. May the light of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace.
Our guest musician this morning is Washington, D.C. based Unitarian Universalist, singer-songwriter, it's a lot of adjectives, Leah Morris. Leah is a fantastic songwriter, and both of her songs this morning are going to be on a loop pedal, and so that makes them very easy to sing along to. So if you find yourself, the Spirit moves you, do join in on these beautiful songs by our guest, Leah Morris.
Everything is possible, this I know, this I know, this I know. Everything is possible, this I know. I'm bountiful and free, bountiful and free, where I'm supposed to be. Everything is possible, this I know. I'm bountiful and free. Everything is possible, this I know, this I know, this I know, everything is possible. This I know, I'm bountiful and free. Bountiful and free, where I'm supposed to be. Everything is possible, this I know, I'm bountiful and free. Everything is possible, this I know. Everything is possible, this I know, I'm bountiful and free. Everything is possible, this I know, I'm bountiful and free. Everything is possible, everything is bountiful and free. Bountiful, where I'm supposed to be. Everything is I'm bountiful and free. Everything is possible. Everything is bountiful and free. Bountiful, everything is I'm bountiful and free. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. I'm bountiful and free. Everything is possible. I'm bountiful and free.
And now let us travel back in time to a warmer moment in Atlanta when a group of UUCA members came together for an outdoor picnic this past summer. And while they were there, they did the movement prayer together. So please rise in body or in spirit wherever you are and join the UUCA picnickers for this morning's movement prayer.
First, we bow to honor the Spirit of life. We lift our arms and embrace the gifts of Spirit. We bring these gifts unto ourselves with gratitude and breathe and smile. We share these gifts with the world. We remember to be present. Honor, embrace, gratitude, share, be present.
Our music meditation this morning is a beautiful song, Come Sing a Song With Me by Carolyn McDade, who also wrote Spirit of Life. This has long been a favorite song of RE programs all around UUdom, including this one here at UUCA. So I hope you'll all join in singing along, especially our children and youth. Come sing a song with me. Sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Let us put hands upon hearts and feel the warm connection. Let love in this moment flow. Say to yourself silently, I will love myself. I will love others. And that love will heal the world. Now we hear the joys and sorrows of this congregation. Please send your love and support to Kevin James, whose spouse and longtime UCA member Robin Stinson passed away on January 2nd. Robin's loving and dynamic spirit will be deeply missed in our community. Cards, phone calls, and emails are all welcome. Check the weekly update for Kevin's contact information. You are invited to say the name of someone you are holding in your hearts this morning, someone who could use some extra love and good energy. Please write their names into the live chat or speak their names into this sacred moment now. May all beings find connection. May all people find comforts. May all of us find new ways to be more loving to one another. As humans have gathered for millennia, so do we gather in our way on this day, to gently surrender to something beyond ourselves, to humbly acknowledge our mistakes, to ask forgiveness, to seek hope and renewal, to honor the earth that supports and sustains life, to remember that all beings are inextricably and mysteriously connected, and to feel that connection. Now, we still our bodies and we still our minds. We take in a big breath. We exhale. We relax into this moment that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the wise silence.
a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Unitarian Universalism is a really long name, by Jennifer Dant, illustrated by Ann Carter. Welcome, friends. Asking questions and looking for answers are important to Unitarian Universalists. We believe that no one is ever finished learning. Our faith keeps growing and changing like all living things. This is why we call our faith the living tradition. So let's get back to basics this morning. Let's explore some questions about our faith. So who are we? Unitarian Universalism is a long name. Why? Because it combines the names of two different religions with roots that go back hundreds of years. Unitarianism and Universalism were both Protestant Christian faiths that had many beliefs in common. And in 1961, they decided to join together to become one faith. Today, the 7 principles sum up Unitarian Universalist beliefs. Our first principle, for example, states that we believe that all people are important. No matter what they look like or where they come from, how much money they have, or what kinds of families they live in. None of us is exactly alike. And we believe our differences make the world a better place. What else do we believe? As we grow, we never stop learning about right and wrong. We learn about how to be the best people we can be. These ideas are part of what we call our religious values. Like people of all faiths, Unitarian Universalists practice our religious values at home, in church, and in our schools and neighborhoods. Every religion has its own important teachers. Christians learn from the teachings of Jesus. Buddhists learn from the lessons of the Buddha. Unitarian Universalists learn from the wise teachers of many religions and from Unitarians and Universalists who came before us. We also learn from teachers today. New lessons and ideas are all around us. As we grow and explore all of these, we find our own truths. How do we worship? Well, just like we are doing today, Unitarian Universalists gather as congregations in many countries to share, to celebrate, to give thanks, and to work for a better world. We hear words and music from many faith traditions and cultures. We also read the words of modern poets and writers. And, like ours, most worship services have a time to light a chalice, our religious symbol, and a time for meditation and prayer. And so, who leads us? Unitarian Universalist congregations make their own decisions and rules. The people in the congregation plan together and vote on important decisions. This is known as the democratic process. And who else leads us? Well, most congregations have ministers, like our own Reverend Strauss. Choosing its minister is one very important decision a congregation makes. Ministers are people who help us live as Unitarian Universalists. Ministers tell stories, sometimes called sermons, that show us what it means to be a good person and how religion can help us. Ministers help families when someone is sick or dying. Ministers believe deeply that each person matters, and they remind you, the congregation, to believe that too. Ministers help you understand that when we work together, we can make a difference in the world. And how do we celebrate? Well, when a baby is born, Unitarian Universalists offer a child dedication ceremony where the congregation welcomes the new baby and promises to help the child become part of the community. Many teenagers go through coming-of-age classes to help them determine what they believe, and then they share their statements of belief or credos with the congregation in a special worship service. Congregations hold weddings and commitment ceremonies, and when someone dies, the congregation honors the deceased with a memorial service to remember and celebrate the person's life. These services and celebrations are rites of passage that help us to share important changes in our lives. The living tradition of our Unitarian Universalist faith began a long time ago and keeps on growing today. Our faith helps us to remember how important each one of us is as we find our way in the world together. Being a Unitarian Universalist means believing that each of us is responsible for living a life of good actions, respecting others, and caring for our world. And remember, being a Unitarian Universalist also means to keep asking questions.
Thank you, Laura Beth. So which sounds better, pre-apocalyptic or near dystopian? We will now take a poll in the chat. I'm just kidding. We talked about this in the worship space, and the votes just determined that near dystopian sounded better. They both sound terrible. The point is that I recently finished an excellent, fairly new near dystopian novel by the writer Lydia Millett called A Children's Bible. Ominously current, the book's plot underscores how woefully unprepared we truly are for the real chaos of the ocean's level's imminent rise and ever-strengthening storms. The novel's antagonists are the adults of tomorrow, and I do mean only a decade or two away. They are hedonistic, self-obsessed. They lean on their wealth to solve all of their own immediate problems as the world burns around them, or more aptly, floods around them. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work. It does not solve anything. In the book, it's the children who understand the only way forward is mutuality and collectivism. They are the ones who share their resources first, their talents and their work ethic to build a life for each other, however tenuous. It's the children who are the first to rescind their iPhones and iPads, who teach themselves about agriculture and healing. You know that moment when you finish a book, close the pages, take a breath, and return to the real world? It's 2022, and the nation is not fine. 1 year after a planned insurrection at our Capitol, where our elected representatives were terrorized by loosely organized white supremacists, we still have not come together to decry nor resolve that democratic crisis from a year ago. But you have chosen to be a part of something, part of a group of people who are already listening to the wisdom of children, a community of believers in our ability to care for one another, to share our resources, yes, to learn and grow together, to become adaptive and transform for whatever ways the unfurling world will call us to serve. I remembered as I finished the book how much the works of Kurt Vonnegut formed me and shaped me and my brand of rigorous, absurd hope as I was coming of age. He was so important to me as a teen, and I will never forget the day I learned Kurt Vonnegut was a member of a Unitarian church, just like you. What I'm saying is that we are the ones we've been waiting for. We have been triumphantly beating the odds and thriving during one of the most challenging seasons of this community's long life. Because of your commitment, your hope, your presence, and your generosity, I'm not worried about us. I know we have all we need to get through whatever joy or hardship might be on its way next. The truth is, 2022 is our year, if we make it so. This morning's offering will now be given and gratefully received at uuca.org/give.
No one gets to heaven alone, to heaven alone, to heaven alone. No one gets to heaven alone. We get there side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We get there side by side. No one heals the world on their own, the world on their own, the world on their own. No one heals the world on their own. We're healing side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We're healing side by side. No one does the work on their own, the work on their own, the work on their own. No one does the work on their own. We're working side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We're working side by side, side by side. Side by side, side by side, we're healing side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We get there side by side.
Yes, this is the message for this moment. No one gets to heaven alone. We will get there side by side, my friends. And so let us now come together to dedicate the offering in unison to the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community. We dedicate our lives, and these are offerings. Blessings on this gift. This morning's reading comes to us from some of the youth and children of UUCA.
See, how do you?
Well, see, one time I coded this bot in Discord, and just for people who don't know, Discord is this platform where you can chat with other people, and one of the principles is the right to the democratic process, right? So, this bot that I coded was used for making polls, so I am literally giving people right to the democratic process by making a robot that allows people to make their own polls.
I am a UU reader and writer because I try to include and read about all kinds of people, as well as reading and writing stories whose messages align with the UU principles, like caring about the earth, seeking out the truth in the world, and respecting all people, no matter who they are.
When I was first thinking about how I was a UU student and classmate, I was a bit stumped because I normally do all of those things. Like, of course you help out the people around you. Of course you treat everyone equally. And of course you help clean up the earth and help out when you can. So I think that I'm a UU student because I just kind of keep those principles in mind when I'm just doing my day.
How am I a UU classmate? I am kind and encouraging to my peers in my aerial gymnastics class by supporting them when they're learning new things and helping them if they ask for it.
I can be a good UU by reusing, reducing, and recycling, and also being kind to others.
I'm a UU classmate because my sister and I wake up very early in the morning to go to our RE, which teaches us many topics on how to be better people.
I am a UU chef because we eat less meat, so it saves all the innocent animals like cows and pigs and chickens around the world. I am also a UU chef because I cook and eat more international food, such as black bean burgers with guac, which are different cultures. It kind of celebrates different cultures. And then we also share kitchen duties, so everybody gets to cook, even that guy over there. This is how I am a UU chef.
I am a UU artist because I like to draw chalices with new symbols that represent the different values of the UU community.
Vivian.
Yeah?
What makes you a UU musician?
Well, I'm a UU musician because I'm engaged in many cultural instruments, like a kalimba. It is an African instrument, and it was depicted on piano because set up like one, basically. And my brother owns an African drum called a djembe, and it goes like this. And I own a ukulele too. I'm gonna play a beautiful song. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, and I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
I am a UU cat lover because I believe that no cat is cuter than another and that they are all unique and special in different ways. I help cats feel safe, comfortable, and loved by everyone, even dog lovers.
UU, I bring metal silverware instead of using the plastic silverware they provide at the school.
Do you know about John Bolton's famous bread? Years ago, John used to bake bread for people at the holidays, this mysteriously delicious and possibly healthy date nut spice bread. Talking with John, a longtime UUCA member, on Christmas Day, he told me there were some years when he would make dozens and dozens of loaves of his bread and give it to UUCA volunteers, to lay ministers and board members, people who were struggling over the holiday season. These days, John, who lives with cerebral palsy, is unable to make the bread. Yet, still we hunger. We didn't get to see each other this Christmas Eve. Some of us didn't have anywhere to go on Christmas this year. There were no flushed cheeks coming in out of the cold, no tins of cookies, no smiling handshakes, no sitting in the dark together listening to a choir of angels while we cradled the warm glow of a candle in our hands. The hunger for physical, personal connection is acute right now, and it is everywhere. My close friend recently lost a very old friend of hers, and the day before she was to travel to his funeral, she tested positive for COVID. And so she watched the funeral on live stream alone in her apartment. I called her up. Someone sent her flowers. "This isn't cutting it," she said. "All I want, all I need is a hug." So much has been taken from us. John used to bake bread for us and deliver it on Sundays, and now that's gone. We used to hug. Surely we will again, but not right now. This year, Barbara Begner asked John for the recipe of his date nut bread. On Christmas Day, she brought over a warm loaf of the spice bread to my family. We were on our way out of town, going to stay at a secluded cabin in Virginia with some of my family members, but I stowed it at the bottom of a bag and promptly forgot about it. Until a few days later, someone unearthed the loaf and wondered what it was. Friends, I am telling you, the bread was a revelation. The bread was revelatory. What is this marvelous bread? My sister and brother-in-law wanted to know. The teen nieces and nephews kept coming back out of their room for more and started to quarrel over the remaining pieces. And finally, my dad declared it the best bread he had ever tasted in his long life. Is he prone to Epicurean hyperbole? Perhaps. I told them all the story of John Bolton's bread, and they sat back in gratitude, feeling the blessing of a gift passed down across the years, in community, no less sweet or nourishing. This is our religious tradition. Unitarian Universalism is nourishment. It is sweetness in hard times. I can't tell you the exact recipe. You will each add your own extra spice, or you will adjust the cooking time. The question is, how do you share your bread with the world? How do you live like a Unitarian Universalist, not just on Sundays, not only in this community, but everywhere? And as we think of the act of kneading bread, I wonder also what shaped you, what is holding you together as we head into this next year. If you have tuned in here today looking for something, I say it is within you already. What you need is to call upon this special spice of yours, your unique way of honoring the worth and dignity of every being, which is central to our UU belief system. You need to share your own recipe to nourish and empower and delight somebody else. And we need a community, a congregation to remind us of what is in each of us already. It's the way you treat each and every cat as though it has worth and dignity. The way you cook foods from around the world, and mostly vegetarian, practicing our seventh principle of honoring the interdependent web of life. The way you engage with literature, music, art, and culture, understanding that you are a member of the world community. Maybe you create bots in Discord. Maybe you create artwork that represents religious pluralism or our UU value of the democratic process. Maybe you bring your own silverware instead of using plastic. You are doing it. When we transform our habits, they become like little acts of hope that you can still be made and remade, that the world can still be made and remade. Even now, when all the old things you did may no longer be possible, like good bread, we can still rise. In Buddhism, setting intentions is quite different than setting goals. While many New Year's resolutions conflate the two, Buddhism separates them. Goals are future-focused and outcome-based. They are things we want to create in our lives, like making a garden, being able to lift 100 pounds, or flossing regularly. Philip Moffitt describes the process of setting intention, at least according to Buddhist traditions and teachings. It's quite different than goal making. Intention is not oriented towards a future outcome. Instead, it is a path or a practice that is focused on how you are being in the present moment. How you are being in the present moment. Your attention is on the ever-present now, in the constantly changing flow of life. You set your intentions based on understanding what matters most to you and make a commitment to align your worldly actions with your inner values. As you gain insight through meditation, reflection, and moral living, your ability to act from your intentions blossoms. It is called a practice because it is an ever-renewing process. You don't just set your intentions and then forget about them. You live them every day. This is a liminal time, I believe, between Christmas and the Lunar New Year, when we begin to set our intentions for ourselves in the year to come. No need to rush it as the fireworks pop outside. You can sift through your process, remembering that even bread takes time to proof and to rise. We are a religion of not creeds, but deeds. Therefore, each of our actions contributes to the lived expression of our Unitarian Universalist faith. So take some time now to set your intentions for this next year, to create alignment between your Unitarian Universalist faith and values and your words and actions in your life. How will you nourish yourself and others? How will you live the UU path in your unique way, expressing the wisdom you already carry within? What you are looking for is already within you. But being a part of a congregation, well, that will keep calling it out of you. So I will close with the words of the great Unitarian preacher A. Powell Davies, who said, let me tell you why I come to church. I come to church, and I would, whether I was a preacher or not, because I fall below my own standards and need to be constantly brought back to them. I am afraid of becoming selfish and indulgent, and my church, the Church of the Free Spirit, brings me back to what I want to be. I could easily despair, doubt, and dismay could overwhelm me. My church renews my courage and my hope. It is not enough that I should think about the world and its problems at the level of a newspaper report or magazine discussion. It could too soon become too low a level. I must have my conscience sharpened until it goads me to the most thorough and responsible thinking of which I am capable. I must feel again the love I owe to others. I must not only hear about it, but feel it. In church, I do. I am brought toward my best, in every way, toward my best. So we bring each other toward our best. If John cannot bake the bread anymore, then Barbara will continue making the bread. Perhaps next year, more of us will bake the bread for one another. So as the year turns, may you feel the love you owe to others. May you set your intentions and be brought in every way toward your best. May it be so. Amen.
I've eaten many loaves of that bread. I have, over the last 14 years. Our next hymn is just the perfect complement to what Reverend Strauss just said. When our heart is in a holy place, this time, when we are together. This is Joyce Poley's 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place.
We are adding a new element to our worship service to help you bring your UU faith home in a tangible way. We are going to help you build a home altar. Our families with children have been doing this throughout the pandemic during our online family chapels, and we would now like to share it with everyone. To create an altar, all you need is some dedicated space and your chalice or candle. Your altar can live on your nightstand, like mine did for many years, or in the center of your dining room table, or any flat surface will do. At the beginning of each month, we will invite you to find an item in your home that represents the theme we are exploring in worship and add that item to your altar. For today, we are asking how you. So, think about an item in your home or something you may want to create even that represents, signifies, or communicates how you. So as Willie plays for about 30 seconds, we want you to, in this moment, go get that item. Okay, ready, set, go. I would like to invite you to type into the chat that item you plan to add to your altar, whether found or to be created. I encourage you to light your chalice each day, to be present for a few moments with the flame, and to set your intention. Simply give some attention to your altar. Attention is part of making something sacred. So let's make our own Unitarian Universalist journey sacred this year. How will you?
So as we extinguish our chalice this morning, I invite you to go in peace into your week, into this year. Go with love and go with intention. Amen. Blessed be.
Minutes, 0 seconds.